Welcome back. We appreciate you spending some time with us here this afternoon talking about the plans, the continued discussion about the McCord Road underpass. And in our last segment, we were talking more about the hard facts and figures, but Catherine Hott, Superintendent of Springfield Schools, there's an emotional factor that probably our viewers are sitting there at home thinking, there's a school right next to that location that could really benefit from this finally being solved, because and this is not a slight against anybody. I'm in the group. None of us are getting younger, and as long as we live around this area, the talk is fantastic. We're excited about a project like this happening, but from an emotional standpoint, you got to put this to rest, right?
I really believe we do, and Andy made a good point. We were very hopeful because of all the hard work and dedication, and the funding was so close. It was the closest I think it's been. So we were understandably disappointed when there was a possibility this was going to be delayed again. And yes, there is always a concern about that. And as Mayor Yunker pointed out, on the other side of those tracks, we have a large senior citizen center, and with 3 of our 6 schools are right along the tracks as well. Yeah. So. Yeah, disappointment and emotion, absolutely. Excitement that it was coming close, we thought we were almost there. And then certainly a disappointment for so many reasons when it looked like it was going to be delayed again.
Keith, from an engineering standpoint, an underpass, how much does that increase the safety of that intersection?
Oh,
leaps and bounds?
Yes, it completely eliminates the possibility of a vehicle and train collision or a vehicle pedestrian collision. It completely eliminates it.
The walkways go underneath as well.
Right.
Completely eliminating that. And that is one of the things you brought up in the break. We were talking about that is a hazardous materials route, which is of concern as well. Does that create safety for the trains? I mean, obviously collision, take that out of the factor, that's fine. But if you're increasing tracks, I mean, that becomes a major thoroughfare.
Correct.
It already is, but it becomes even a bigger one.
The safety of the people on the trains and everybody nearby.
Let's talk about the funding a little more and how realistic it is in the state. The state last increased the gas tax back in 2005 as far as helping road funding, but with what we're paying right now, and Andy and Mike, I open this to you, hopefully prices will decrease a bit. I don't think they're going to, that's just my layman's guess, but as we see this go on and on and on, is increasing the gas tax an answer to projects like this not getting put on hold?
Well, I think if the project gets put on hold, the cost is going to outweigh whatever increases in tax gas you're going to have, because of the fact that the construction costs and the material costs and everything is going to go up so much that any time you delay it, even if it's only for a few years, it's almost going to take this project out of the realm of possibilities. Mm-hmm. I think the state, if this is going to be a reality, I think it's got to be reconsidered and then refunded for the same 2014 plans that we have in place right now. I think if it's delayed, then it's pretty much a completely washed project.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we need to convince the state of the importance of this project. And it's not just to the Holland-Springfield area. As you pointed out to start the show, 24,000 vehicles a day on McCord Road. It is one of the major north-south arteries in Lucas County. So, you know, this project doesn't just affect people living in Holland and Springfield. It affects people living in Sylvania. It affects people living in Maumee, Perrysburg, anybody that uses McCord Road. Not to mention the fact that McCord Road becomes the go-to detour if there's ever a major accident on 475. And when that happens, when 475 is shut down, it's almost gridlock on McCord Road, and the stoppage of traffic because a train coming through just compounds that even further.
Keith, I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you taking a contingent down to Columbus with you, and what do you say? What are you planning to say to the state?
Well, we're going to try to point out the benefits for this, and I think we should definitely recognize that, like Andy said, it is not just a local project, it's a regional project. And the other local public agencies in the area have a large commitment to this. There's $12.68 million committed from TMCOG. It's money that's dedicated to this area that would be spent on other local projects if not committed to this project. Mm-hmm. So, like the city of Toledo, a large share of that probably would be spent in the city of Toledo if it was not being spent on this project. But they all recognize the importance of this project and they're committed to it.
Is this something that needs to go over the state's head and maybe go federal with it?
Well, we are trying to that route, but it's with doing away with the earmarks, it's pretty difficult to get any money in that manner anymore.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I don't think, you know, we're not just sitting back and hanging our hat on trying to be successful on April 17th. The engineer's office has already submitted applications for a different type of funding for this project. That answer is supposed to be coming in May or June.
Right, it's a long shot, but we're trying.
And that would fund it completely?
No, that would actually leave it a little bit short, so we'd have to figure out something as far as getting more local funds to make up that difference of about $4 or $5 million, $3 or $4 million. Yeah. You know, we've also been in contact with our state legislators all the way up to the governor's office about this project and trying to impress upon them the importance to Northwest Ohio, just, you know, like I said, with the rail traffic and vehicular traffic, that this project will play.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I appreciate all of you taking the time. Please keep us informed as far as the discussions down there. Now just a few weeks away. Catherine, thank you so much for being here. Mike, Andy, and of course Keith Early, engineer for Lucas County. Stay with us here on the Roundtable program. We will wrap things up for this Sunday, this first day of April, right after this.